Okay, so our next Hall of Famer is Don Cornelli. Don, how are you doing? And you are not at home. You just said you're on the road. So I guess that is where it's good to be on the road for the NFL action, right? So I guess at this point.
It is. I'm doing good, Ken. And yeah, we're in LA for a game this coming Sunday. And like you said, it's nice to be back working and stuff after an unscheduled vacation.
Sure. So great to spend a few minutes with you. You are the fourth camera guy, and Gene Michael was a camera shader extraordinaire. I'm sure you work with Gene, clearly.
Many years with Gene.
Yeah, so there's Davey Finch, Corey Leibel, Kenny Wu was last year, and then yourself. So clearly, and we were just talking, it's a handheld operators. So I'd like to hear a little bit from you as far as what is the life of a handheld camera operator? What kind of skills do you think you have to bring to the table versus some of the hard camera guys who are upstairs?
Well, it's in my opinion, it's a little different. We can move and get in a better position and try and compose a shot a little easier than those guys. They're pretty stationary where they are besides the cart, and it just affords us more licensing to be creative and maybe put something in the foreground or move a little bit to get just a little bit better angle. But the biggest thing is I often thought about going to a hard camera to alleviate some of the physicalness of handheld.
Right.
Hard camera guys, they have predetermined assignments as to, I'm talking football now, how many receivers are, if there's trips on one side or if there's slot receivers or tight ends. And they react to what happens when they break the huddle before the play. A handheld operator, I think it's more of a positioning thing, and you react to what happened during the play. So you really never know what's going to happen if you're going to go with the defensive guy, the offensive guy, if there's going to be a turnover, whatever.
Right.
So you're more reacting than you are thinking before. So I guess I'm not a good thinker.
So there was a story on you, I believe. Where was the story last year that was written on you? I'm trying to remember now. Was it the Atlantic? The Athletic?
The Ringer did it.
Somebody wrote a story on you, and they mentioned the Plaxico Burress catch and how you're in the background there. So for something like that, which as a Giants fan, and I was there, so thank you for capturing that shot. Where were you thinking before that play? Did you say I'm going to go bury myself in the corner of the end zone, or how did you kind of approach that?
There was no time left, and they had no choice but to throw into the end zone. And I cover the near side of the field all the time, so my thought was it's going to come to that corner. It's probably the best thing on some type of a fade route. And luckily, I was right there. Eli threw the ball, and Plaxico caught it right in front of me, and New York spoiled the Patriots' undefeated season. And you're smiling now like you probably were when he caught it, right?
Yes, indeed. So you also mentioned the Villanova Championship, because you don't just do football. So walk me through that. What was special about that game?
Villanova, it was God, what year was that? 2016. It was Villanova, North Carolina in the Final Four, the championship game, and it was just a great game. It was the whole tournament had been great that year, and it came down to Villanova and North Carolina, and Chris Jenkins hit a 3-pointer with no time left on the clock, and it was just complete bedlam. And Bob Fishman, the director, captured it great. It's just something I'll always remember, just the excitement and how it happened, and it was just a memorable time.
Right. Gotcha. Now I'm a North Carolina fan, so not too good for me that one either. But as far as, so you mentioned Bob Fishman, another Hall of Famer from last year. Mm-hmm. So what maybe discuss your how do you kind of work with directors as far as, like, and you got Rich Russo clearly, right? So when how do you kind of get their trust and then sort of have an understanding of what they're going to be looking for, or do you go on your own?
It's a good question. My 30-some year career, I've really had 4 main directors in all those years. Whether it was I started with basically Sandy Grossman, and then Artie Kempner, Rich Russo, and Fishman was in there, and Steve Bynum was in there, and how you get their trust, I don't know. I think it's just being in the right spot at the right time, being there when getting the shot that they need, trying to think ahead of them a little bit, maybe try and stay one step ahead of them, which is not easy to do. But just trying to offer something. And remember, you're part of a team. It's not, I don't need to get every shot, just something that's going to help tell the story, whether it's, the reaction of maybe the losing player or the losing team or whatever. It doesn't always have to be the money shot where it's the guy, with the confetti and all that. Maybe it's the guy sitting in the corner with his hands buried in his head.
Right. Yeah.
Just trying to stick with them, help them support the announcers, and hopefully you're in the right spot at the right time.
So last question for you. In the article I read, you have been run over a couple of times, and I've been on the sidelines for an NFL game, which is really exciting until the players do start running around, and then you start going, oh my God, this is not a safe place to be. So how do you kind of put that, do you have the thought in your head that you are going to, and when this is happening, what kind of is going through your brain when you see this occurring?
I really don't try and think of it, and by the time you do start thinking about it, it's too late, because it's happening in the viewfinder, and you go and you think he's coming right at you, and you can't zoom anymore, so you know he's pretty close. You go, this is not good right now.
Right.
And when you get hit, you get hit. It doesn't happen all the time. It's happened a couple times to me, and it's just one of those things that I don't know. I guess you could bail out quicker, but then you mess up a shot, and if they cut up the field, the replay is no good at that point.
Sure. Well, it is the age of COVID-19, so please maintain your social distancing on the sideline at all costs. Okay, let's just keep that going.
It's NFL now.
Right, exactly. Well, great to see you as always, Don. We look forward to seeing you next year in person. So thanks so much for your time tonight, and have a good show.
Thank you very much, Ken. You take care. Thanks for everything.
You got it.
Bye-bye.